145 days of struggle, 20 kilos of weight lost, his body collapsing, withering away, and yet his goal is not reached. This, in short, is the message in Oleh Sentsov's letter. He thanked everyone who has supported him and asked for their forgiveness that he cannot continue his hunger strike.
In connection with the critical state of my health, as well as the pathological changes that have begun in my internal organs, I have been scheduled for forced feeding in the very near future. My choice is no longer taken into account. Allegedly, I am no longer able to adequately assess the level of threat to my health.
According to his lawyer, Dmitry Dinza, Sentsov will file on October 6th a declaration confirming he is stopping his hunger strike. Russian Federal Penitentiary Service has left him almost no choice.
He did not want to withdraw from the hunger strike. This is a necessary measure so that Russian authorities would not paint him as a mentally ill person or vegetable chained to a bed. He now does not know whether or not he will be able to come out of the hunger strike, because he was told that irreversible changes in his internal organs already began.
The head of the prison service hastily announced that they had already consulted the best dietitians from Moscow. They claim they will help Oleh recover from the hunger strike without complications.
The menu includes all necessary food rations, which will allow Oleh Sentsov, without complications, to get out of the long state of rejection of good nutrition.
The Ukrainian director has not eaten solid food for 145 days. Ombudswoman Lyudmila Denisova is demanding that independent doctors supervise Oleh's recovery.
I urge the Russian Federation to save the life of a Ukrainian. I demand that he be provided with independent medics who will conduct a full medical examination. We can bring these doctors from Ukraine or Europe.
Former political prisoner and dissident and now head of the Psychiatrist Association of Ukraine, Semyon Gluzman, announced a hunger strike twice while he was imprisoned in the 70s. Each of those hunger strikes lasted 4 months. He says that withdrawing from a hunger strike is extremely painful because by that point the organism is exhausted. He remembers his own experiences.
I didn't only feel weakness. Once I felt a strange sensation, the approach of death. And at the same time, my legs, the bones in my legs, began to ache. I had a feeling that the bone marrow in my legs was frozen. I understood that this was utter exhaustion.
Recently, the European Court of Human Rights accepted Sentsov's lawsuit for consideration. In it, he announced that Russia used torture against him, as well as infringed on his right for freedom and security. According to lawyers, it will be the first time ever a personal case will be connected to an international incident. That is, Sentsov's case will be heard together with the case of the annexation of Crimea. The court gave Russia until January 16, 2019 to prepare a response.
However, the consideration of cases in court continues up to 6 and up to 8 years. We hope that the decision of this case will be faster. But until that moment, Russia should understand that the situation is under the control of the European Court.
Oleh Sentsov, a Crimean film director, was sentenced to 20 years in a penal colony on a fabricated charge of preparing terrorist attacks. He did not plead guilty, and on May 14th, he announced a hunger strike. He said he would not end until the Kremlin freed all Ukrainian political prisoners, and he was unable to achieve this goal, at no fault of his own, but the fault of the Russian state.